these 3 maps here. And of course, starting things off with Detonate on Ancient. I think that this is a map that honestly they've been very, very strong at. They've been utilizing this for quite a few seasons, like you said, with that Cryptic Florence duo. They're very effective on this map. I think that they can get the job done, and this is where I think the success has to start coming through. It has to start on this T side for Detonate. So we'll see if it can start it up here and now.
Yeah, this would be a really big step if Strife could pick up this map. It's a bit of an awkward one when teams decide to pick into Ancient, but if Strife can navigate themselves with that lacking tactical department, then that would certainly mean the world to them. But right now, it's a straight A rush on this pistol round, and all these footsteps heard. Joel's could play in front of these smokes, and he will. He's going to snipe down the first. Florence hits the deck, and oh, even a shot through the smoke from Jitter. 3 versus 5, and the plant becomes a near possibility. He's going to play it. He's going to pray. He'll get it down, but at what cost? Lots of damage dealt is the price he'll have to pay, but at least standing with a couple of players. But Brett pushing up into spawn. Snakes jiggle peeking the angle, but Brett's gonna win the fight on the move. 3v3, they start to swarm the site. Micro now, though, on 2 HP out at that triple box, but an amazing flashbang from Brett to try and help them out. Brett is now inside of the temple, and he's finding more kills on 9 HP. Dancing around the boxes, Brett comes away with the 4K. Detonate, they were looking so down, but they get the pistol.
That was brilliant right there from Brett. Oh my god, perfect play coming through. Like you said, what a perfect flash as well. Tossing it right in, and that's just composure in the utmost of pressured situations right there for Detonate. They hold steady. So many players on low HP, so many different ways that could have gone wrong there. One bullet, and a couple of those players went down, but they just couldn't connect there. Strife couldn't coordinate that retake effort despite having so many different advantages, and this is why we start to talk about that little support that these few changes have made for Detonate. It does look like it's elevated this roster just a little bit here. But a little forced buy to respond coming through from Strife. Looking to deliver some damage in this round. Until they tossed on in towards a main. Obviously going for a similar setup to what they just did in the pistol this time though. Up against rifles.
Gonna see a smoke land in towards that temple position, and Infinite, well, he'll come in rotation. You can actually sneak through that. That might be something at Detonate don't consider, but never mind. Brett up on the boost, deals with that threat. Jitter now just dancing behind the smoke with a 5-7. Things are about to get hot for him, but in the meantime, Reck picks up a kill. Maybe they can make this happen as they group up towards the donut. A good flash to escort the peak, but they cannot convert the kills. It's Reck who actually does pick up that Galil, but that's all. Just tags, almost a collat, but nothing quite there for Snakes. 2-zip Detonate.
A little bit too much to ask right there with the Scout 1v3. They get the job done. It was somewhat scary, but you only really have to fear Reck in that last round. He was the only one able to deliver the damage. And now off the back of that, they should get that 0-3 start. This is a lovely T-side way to kick things off here for Detonate. On Ancient specifically. Get the ball moving. Especially if you can keep that economy nice and low for a long time. Sometimes you can just build up these foundations that are so hard to get back come the second half here. Oh.
Ouch.
I don't know if that was unfortunate.
You think that was intentional, Cole? You know, I mean,
is there anyone in the tarps?
Yeah, maybe they're turned on no clip and they're flying through the walls. You never know. Freshy, though, taps out the first armorless pistol, and I think the rest is about to follow suit, though. Jitter does get behind the smoke. If Brett decides to press the issue, could make for an awkward situation. Infinite, instead, is going to try clearing out middle, and that's going to be a great kill on a Brett. There's a lot more that has to be converted upon here for Strife to make this kind of round happen, but hey, that's a start.
You can definitely be happy about there in a full eco round, but getting anything else in this would be a miracle. Cryptic punches in the numbers. Reck dances behind the smoke. Only a matter of time here, surely, before things go wrong, but they're doing a little bit of extra chip damage. They have some encouragement, but now they're walking into Florence.
Oh my goodness!
A lot of dinks come his way. I don't know if those were wallbangs or what the deal was, but he was tanking those things, and now Stank gonna take a little bit of lead there from Micro, and a 3-0 start.
I mean, Florence he's Iron Man, my friend. He got a face made of steel. He took so many digs. But at the end of the day, the armorless pistols do their job. It's 2 kills for them. But Detonate still get the early 3-round start, and Strife get their own purchase. We get to take a look at Snakes and his return to competitive play, and he is now the primary opper for this Strife squad. So see how he gets to work his magic as he's been out of the competitive loop for just a bit.
Yeah, it has been fun to watch him as of recent. Again, not the most impressive results yesterday there versus EG, but like we had said, no one's really been putting up any impressive results versus EG, so no harm, no foul. But what I did like was Snakes' opping yesterday. It was really, really good. It was consistent. You could tell that he really put some effort into that, and it's showing up in the server. He looks like he's ready to play right now, landing those easy shots and also some difficult ones.
At the same time, it's just great tactical play from Evil Geniuses yesterday that kind of soured the mood for Strife. I mean, Evil Geniuses are 12-0 when it comes down to maps this season. So, there's something to say about that. Detonate are walking into a trap, or maybe they themselves have set something of their own. It's Snakes, though, back on the line. They jump the gun, and they walk into that op. At the same time, this duel towards middle. Brett putting on the pressure, almost taking down Jitter, but not quite enough. So the plant, ooh, it'll come through. Snakes, he caught a glimpse, but in the meantime, Brett does go down. Man disadvantage for Detonate. Snakes almost connected that one. But now the post plant established here. Detonate with a chance to keep their lead going. Low HP on the Jitter to begin. That will be good for Cryptic. And the next in line. The crossfire's too good. Detonate convert the 2v3.
That's just huge. This is what I was talking about, though. This nice start on the pistol round. If you could just follow it up with a first gun round, you'll likely get off to that 0-5 start that everyone dreams of on this map here. And immediately calling in a timeout here from Strife. A little bit of a disjointed effort there in the reclaiming of that B ramp control. They didn't realize what they had was going to work out so well if they had just moved a second earlier, if they were a little bit more proactive, but instead they hold it out just a little while longer, and that allows for Strife to, or rather Detonate, to land some really impressive trades.
And just a great setup as a whole. They let that player towards ramp take first contact, and then Freshy chooses to swing out, deal the killing blow there to Strife. And this is the one weakness in this map. While overall, pound for pound, Strife do outclass Detonate. Detonate have a very interesting map pool that they can leverage against Strife. So this map of Ancient could be one of their biggest assets they have. Try and make this game competitive, if not steal this map away. We're talking about that early 5-0 start. Could materialize. We are going to see a little bit of a faster A play. 5-7 could get some damage in. There could be some problems.
Get it up close range there. Brett looking to be first man, first contact here, but he does have to dive around Joel's, who's a little bit of a tricky prospect. Now Cryptic starting to help out, relieve some of that stress, and keeping their distance there quite nicely. It's good damage, but no kills until Infinite strikes, and now all of a sudden we can start to talk about a round.
Okay, just a moment, Jitter, the same. 3 versus 3, and it's super awkward on the site. They might want to get the plant. Wreck, he could consider that smoke push as the plant is coming through. But it does go in. Smoke fading, and Freshy will deal with that threat. Just Infinite, 8 HP, finished off. It's 5-0 Detonate. This is exactly what they were looking for against Strife tonight.
There's no question about it. That's the start that they were hoping for here on Ancient. And right now it is looking like this is a very comfortable map. They've been throwing in all sorts of ideas there. Looks like they have some really good reads. They have some excellent composure on this map so far. Protocols down to a T. Mid control is the name of the game for this round here. Cryptic sent in for entry duties, and nothing really as a result of that. He'll just get himself free control right now. Free real estate. That's quite nice. The rest of the team moves on in towards Donut. This is very rapid positioning coming through from Detonate at the moment. Gonna be tricky to deal with here for Strife, as they're already in Donut.
They're already ready to split this site. all things said. Jules is up on this boost. It's going to be a wonder if he finds a way to survive this round. Never mind, get the first kill. That's a good start. But now he's getting wrapped. Now he gets finished off. And in the meantime, Jitter, he actually comes away with 2 kills. 1 on the gun, 1 on the nade. Another 2v3 here for Detonate. But this time around, Strife for not fighting down on this one too hard. It's a 1v3 for Freshie, and he's not going to be able to fall away from this one. That'll be the first round for Strife.
Incredibly awkward right there, but Jitter getting a couple of kills. I felt like that initial exchange was going to go so right for Micra. If he finds that opening pick, that's just going to be the A site quickly collapsing. That's such a huge relief. You could start to see that entry pathing feel a whole lot more comfortable for Cryptic, but the fact that Cryptic has to get a little 180 action there, it makes his spray a little bit haphazard, and Jitter really capitalizes off of that quite nicely. Great work from him. This time, Strife, they prioritized a little bit of that middle control here. It's at a sacrifice. Little pixel angle for Reck to play off of, trying to spot things out, but that molly's going to keep him at bay.
It is worth mentioning that this map is typically Strife's permaban, believe it or not. This has slipped through the veto. Strife have dared Detonate to pick this one, as Strife decided to ban Inferno for tonight.
That is weird. Didn't look all that bad yesterday. I mean, obviously, again, didn't look pretty. But they got 10 rounds off of EG on Inferno. It wasn't like they didn't have anything going for them. To ban it in this series. Now that's a super interesting curveball. Leaves this one open, and certainly not the start that they were hoping for, that's for sure.
Yeah, they basically opted in to play Ancient tonight when they ban out Inferno against Detonate, which is Detonate's most played map and map they pick the most often. So, of course, it will do a lot. Will tell us a lot about the IGLing situation for Strike if they could look good on this map. We'll see. BXU coming in with 20 seconds on the clock to fend off, and they have Infinite already on the site with Reck in support. It's a good on the boost, but it's not enough to stop this bomb from going down. They do have mollies and the likes, but it's not in position to stop that plant. So a 3v3 post plant.
Ooh.
With Joel's rolling through, he's going to go down to Cryptic. And now make it 2. Do they want to keep pressing this issue? Do Strife? Well, probably not anymore as Jitter falls. Snakes might consider the fallback, and that's exactly what he's going to do. As Detonate make their way up to 6. This dare by Strife could go horribly wrong.
Yeah, and I want to further that point by talking about that Strife is the team that should be feeling a little bit more confident in this matchup, right? They're dealing with the team that has players that are experienced, but they don't have the most seasons in ECL. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, Detonate, they don't have too much experience. Florence, you know, he's been around here for a couple of seasons. Cryptic, certainly the same case. But other than that, you know, I mean, Brett obviously has been around the block. There's a lot of names here on Detonate that have played in ECL here and there, but again, Infinite, he's kind of been a namesake ECL player. Snakes is very experienced, and then you got Reck, Jules, and Jitter. I mean, these guys have played on some of the top teams here in ECL. And the question is, you know, did you maybe pick into, or did you maybe worry too much about your opponent's strengths rather than your own in this occasion? Because, yeah, Detonate might be good on Inferno, but if you're trying to, you know, eliminate one of the tougher maps here that you would be bringing it into, that's going to be, you know, punishing here when you're going up against what is a team that you should be favored against.
Yeah, and you're getting yourself into a very awkward position here now if you're Strife, where you might actually have a losing CT side on Ancient, which is never fun. Ancient always a map that leans CT favor, just for the simple fact that the CT side gets so much control in the early round, and it's the T side that need to play catch up at the start of every round. So on that T side, you have to come through with very good protocols, and you have to be precise with your utility usage in order to collect rounds consistently. And Detonate have been able to get themselves into positions where they get to execute onto sites for free and convert a lot of these post plans. So, I mean, props out to Detonate first and foremost, but Strife decided to walk the tightrope. It's looking like it's coming back to bite them early on.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of seeing right now. Looks like they are getting a little bit of a punch back here on this map, and honestly, I can appreciate it here from Detonate. They've had some super solid trades. You can see that they're feeling comfortable, and the depth is certainly showing. Now, obviously, we have a little bit more to say about this series than just Ancient, and the luxury of these best of threes is that you can go the distance. You can take it to a third if you lose out this map, and honestly, I came into this series expecting that this would be one of our more competitive affairs than maybe all of our EG games that we have seen so far in the last week or so.
Yeah, we might actually be able to cast a 3-map game, Goal. That is a surprising. Well, the thing is, we've casted a lot of EG games, so
Yeah.
For those who haven't heard, they're 12-0. They haven't lost a map, so I think there's been a lot of 2-0s here on the B stream. Might get a competitive game out of this one. Tech pause has resolved. We're back in the game as we are getting things live once more. Strife are going to purchase up again. A couple players having the reserves. Of course, Snake holding over his AWP. This is really the chance where Strife need to bounce back to keep this game competitive.
Yeah, they can't really afford to lose this round, right? We talked about the 0-5 start. Detonate have checked that one off the list, but just rushing an
Oh
LB,
my
this is
goodness.
brazen, but Snakes is ready, prepared, and so is Infinite. Things not going their way, and a lot of damage taken here on the execution. They can still recover, but this is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, Brett's going to be able to set down that bomb, but maybe only just barely. Snake's going to get flashed in, and is going to take a shot onto Freshy. They're going to cross back into the site. Brett goes down next. It's up to Micro, and Reck is going to take him out on the peak. That is a really nice retake there from Strife. A good hold, and then just coordinated on that play. So, Strife, give us a little bit of hope here.
Yeah, I also think that right there, oftentimes the case here, even if it's a tech pause, off the back of these pauses, teams really just like to turn up the heat. And in that 30-second break that you have or so, you know, as soon as we get back to play, you've got to be out and ready, because the T side can dictate that momentum and pace that they want to go with, and Detonate don't really have a lot to lose in the rest of this half, right? They don't want to lose out this half, and they don't want to give over all that momentum to Strife, but 6 rounds in theory should be enough for a confident team on the CT side, and they definitely are that. So they can afford these risks they've just taken. Speaking of risk, Cryptic hanging about here. He does have a smoke to alleviate.
Oh, Reck, though. What a push. Through his own utility is going to drop down Cryptic early on. Now joined with some teammates, but a great flash from Freshy to retake the space. Infinite battling behind the smokes. It's information and damage. Can that be converted on? Yes. Snakes from this position. Lasers down another. A 2v3 now. Detonate have to lick their wounds.
Snakes landing these shots is so consistent right there. They're walking right into his crosshair, and he's not missing. It's continuously giving them advantages, and now that they are left, a little bit of a cave attempt. That's being covered, though, by multiple players here. But if they use this clock, if they maybe force a little bit of paranoia over in the Strife camp, there's 50 seconds left. They can still reroute. He is very vulnerable. Joel's just giving that up.
I really like this, though, from Strife. Is that they can say, hey, okay, we have the man advantage. You guys, if you guys go A, you guys can plant. We're just going to stack up the B side, and if you go B, we just win the round. So, playing the percentage game here is Strife. With 30 seconds left on the clock, they have chosen correctly, and that's a miss smoke. That's not going to help the war effort here. As they do cross into the site, and Strife are not even going to contest this. Instead, oh, they'll have a molly to force him out in the open. Never mind. They were just waiting for the cavalry to arrive. And now Freshy, a 1v3 from inside of the cave position. Now smoked out, and that basically seals this round away here, Cole. He'll get spammed down via the tracers, and that's the 3rd round for Strife. 2 in a row for them.
Really using A1S right there, huh? Unfortunately not granted that. And a comfortable third closer coming through from Strife camp. Again, you don't want to give up too much right there. But again, I'm still seeing some glimmers of hope. I love the trading that just took place there in the early exchange from Detonate. Even if it doesn't go their way at the end of the day, they did get themselves a 3v3. So if you can consistently do that, you'll probably win a couple of extra rounds here to give some cushion on top of that. Oh yeah, this is wild.
No one is A right now for Strife. So, well, the Tech 9s will get picked off at range as Joel's is just chilling here in Dota. That's a nade, and it works. It dunks down Freshie. And, I mean, he's looking to go for them all. He's going to get himself the third on the round. And while they did get the plant, it's Strife who pick up that round in a round that could have gotten very, very weird.
It was actually such a sick nade right there. Obviously, just lining that one up quickly, throwing that ASAP. Doesn't have a lot of time, but he nails it. Couldn't have been better placed. And he will be able to confirm that round. Now, it's a bomb plant there, so you're still not too sad if you detonate. You'd give yourself a whole lot in the arsenal. In fact, everyone has full belts of utility, every tool at their disposal, minus an AWP, but Lawrence still effective on the rifle. You can get the job done and offer up coverage.
So we'll leave it to that. Right now, Strife really putting their foot down on this CT side. Been really battling out towards the B short position, specifically Reck has been able to collect a lot of impact there. One of the players that I think is really good at just beating down opponents who are lower in skill than him, for sure. Not to say that anything bad about it, but he just has the mind for the game, individually speaking. Snakes with that opener. And will Detonate take mid control. They're going to have to find a way to execute on a site with only a single smoke here, Cole.
They're not going to be most fun. All of that utility, all of that arsenal that they have had at the start of this round is slowly depleted. With the last-ditch effort here towards the A side, rather B side, you're going to have to get the job done. Infinite does get forced back in through his smokes here, so starting to limit support for Reck. He really needs to show up.
Oh, no, the scroll wheel there does not help the entry duty. It's Reck to open up with the initial, and while Brett, he does come through on the flank, Detonate can't really take their services to other sites. Brett, he's just a thorn in the side right now. Florence with 20 seconds remaining. Does he have time? It's a very big question, but at the same time, Reck hears that rotation. But Joel's is just stay tucked. Does he have time? I'm not even sure Florence has time to plant that bomb. He actually does, but he's not getting away with anything here. It's going to get dropped on the ground. Simple as that. And that's going to be the 5th round here for Strife.
Yeah, it would have worked there, but Joel's just never moved a muscle. And maybe there would have been time. Maybe there was a chance right there for them to get the job done in that 2v4, but all that relied on Joel's being one of those players supporting that B bomb site, and that wasn't the case. He held steady, and so will Strife. Op is saved up for Brett, so he has an opportunity to do some damage here. Max loss bonus as well for Detonate, so they've got pistols and armor to back it. So far, it's been a bit of a labored effort. Oh, missed smoke. That could be costly here.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Molly, he has a chance to fight.
They're going to actually get pushed past it. In the meantime, they just run down Reck. Brett fires off a shot. And somehow, oh, how is he alive?
What?
I don't even know. He's gonna. And the Tech 9 of Freshie leaps in. Now there's still an opportunity here for Strife. Such low HP bars remaining, but Snakes. Yeah, I don't think he wouldn't want to have an op here. Realistically, he wants that rifle to be able to clean up 3 of these players with a single bullet. So Snakes, he's going to make his move out from Temple. But he has Brett's op watching him right now. And as he swings out, Brett's gonna nail him. 1v4 now for Infinite, and it's time to save. Of course, it's a fast-paced half-buy that gets it done.
That's usually the case, isn't it? It feels like it always is these really rapid plays taking place. And you can see Strife, you know, have some of those protocols not set in stone right there. Some of those lacking utility that's just been tossed in. And I mean, obviously, Brett didn't really capitalize off of that lacking utility, but what he did is add an extra influence. He bought further time, and somehow, man, he turned his force field on because no one was able to shoot him. It caused so much distraction there. And that was enough for those cat players to just strike from above. I mean, flying freshies right in your face. That's not something you ever want to see.
I mean, he's like Han Solo, man. The stormtroopers just cannot hit him.
No kidding, man. He was just popping some. I mean, the issue is Han Solo. He fights back. I don't think Brett was doing too much hitting himself. Maybe
more
there's
like C-3PO or something
going on there in the middle. That works too, yeah.
Not to push the bot narrative there, but Brett is actually top of the server, believe it or not. And actually, he found some impact in that previous round the same, so...
Yes, he did. He did close it.
Yes.
With that last kill in the round, so... He landed it. The final one. The most important one. Freshies had the rest covered.
Yeah. We're gonna return to this A site here for Detonate. They've loved their executes on this one. And they're gonna go ahead and give this one another go. This time around, though, Snake's on the line, but he peeks into Florence. Not ready for that AWP presence. In the meantime, though, Joel's right around the edge of the smoke, was getting pre-fired, but comes away with a double kill. This round is looking very Strife. Unless some miracle, some mistake comes out of this camp, and Wreck, ooh, this might be it. But he's forced in the line. Florence cannot readjust in time. It's Wreck to close it down. And it's Strife back to winning ways. This comeback here does make the difference.
He's got to be one of the most hardest players to kill right there. You can see the way that he's just dancing behind these positions. Right, what are you supposed to do there if you're Florence holding that with the op? You hear the tick, but he doesn't give you a chance to prepare. He's so quick on those kills, and then Cryptic, he lets him bait up that spray. He gets him going for that wild attempt, and then falls back, re-peeks in towards when he knows that he just doesn't have a chance to take him down. It's very, very smart. That's, like you mentioned, one of those reasons why he's so hard to kill if you're not on tip-top shape.
And so we go for some mid-control here for Detonate, but they burn a lot of their fuel to start this round. No utility remaining in the pockets here for Detonate. If they can't convert these kills, this could be an even worse affair. Jitter cutting the cross off, finding Cryptic, and Brett right next to him, but there will be no trade. He escapes without a scratch.
Oh, bomb drop now in the middle of A main there. That's a big warning sign. Joel's looking for even more freshies. Will finally trade, but okay, well, get out of there.
Making sure he's really gone. In the meantime, though, Snakes flubbed the line a bit. But Freshie, too big of an off angle, caught throwing nades, bombs down, and Micro is in a 1v3 where I believe they know exactly where he is. He's down to 5 HP now. One straight bullet will do the trick. 18 bullets in that Tech 9. How many is he going to use? Bro. Surviving on a hope and a prayer right now. For how much longer? Is the question. Not much is the answer. Strife 7-all. This is a big comeback from them. They were down 6-1 to begin.
Yeah, this is a great little exit of the half here for Strife off the back of a little timeout that was called. They started to really batten down the hatches, but for now, if Detonate could just get one more round, a little stop in the train that has been Strife in this tail end of the half, that'll be exactly what they needed. Even 7, it could be enough here. Quick mid-control established. I feel like we've been seeing a war effort between these two teams, constantly vying for this control. This time, Strife, the ones that send way more resources, but Wreck, given an opportunity, will take down Cryptic. Great pathing from him. Again, having Detonate's number.
Yeah, he's always finding these duels in towards B short that are isolated for him, and that's where Wreck wants to thrive as a player. That's where he can leverage his superior individual ability. And catching Cryptic off guard, as that was quite unexpected from his end. Now for Detonate, they try to run it into the B site, but there is just a firing squad waiting for them. Infinite and Jitter are just gonna lock down the half. Strife barely lost a player in this spree of rounds. It's 8-7. We'll send this one to a halftime break.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
And we're back. Pistol round on the way. Strife with a very solid comeback to get themselves into it in one of our final games of the season between these two teams. My name is Fine, joined by Cole, Hector, McHenry, as we're looking to see Strife eke themselves into playoffs and Detonate to avoid relegation. Well, Strife seemed like they have the right playbook here on this pistol round. They're already into the B site for absolutely free. But the flank already arriving. A good gush there by Infinite. They're not paying attention. They're not looking. Infinite gets away with much more than he should have. And a man advantage, it gets worse. It's a 1v3 now for Micro.
That is so tough and so smart right there as well. Brilliant play coming through from Strife, and now it's just Micro here. You had no way you can isolate this triangle of a defense, but that's one way to do it. Spinning around there with a quick headshot, doesn't spot out the other. Jitter not giving him a chance despite his best efforts. Despite such a fiery play right there, Micro cannot get it done, and that's a big pistol for Strife to win.
Yep, that's the best way you could start off this T side again. Now they get the good start. And now, I mean, if Strife begin the half like Detonate started, this game's already going to be over. I mean, 9-7 could balloon to 12. We'll see what the... the purchases here from Detonate, they don't opt to force. I do like this decision from the ZT side. You want to get these guns in as quick as possible for the CT side, so don't let your opponent get a couple extra rounds against you.
100%. Keep things nice and tidy. Get those rifles out as soon as possible. They'll give you a big advantage come that third round with just the fact that there is a little bit of weird purchases, Galeals and all that, alongside an UMP. So you might actually be able to squeak that one across the line, especially if you can do damage in this round, but it looks like they're going to bypass most of this stacking presence right now. On armored USPs on a B-side B-side retake. Not going to do all that much, but if they walked in towards A, maybe they could have done damage.
I always like the UMP, alright? I don't like people hating on it unnecessarily. Yeah, you know, okay, I'm an MP9 purchaser, don't get me wrong, but it isn't that bad. It actually has, like, a controllable recoil. That's pretty easy. I think this is a War Owl quote, but it's like a reverse half moon. Hold down to the left and back down to the middle. So, like, at range, it's at, like, a medium range, it's actually pretty solid. Do not hate. But I'm so prepared for it to just get double dinked by a USB, and we'll be done with this conversation. But no.
Should be good. It's the only one that's found a kill so far, so we'll take it. Certainly take it.
You're wondering why they're saving USPs in spawn? They don't want to give the money over to Strife with those SMGs. They sweep up the entire A site. They're like, they're saving USBs? Okay.
I guess, and alongside that, I guess if you are over in the Strife camp, you really just don't want to die to USPs either, so no point in really going too aggressive. Right there. Pretty wise from both camps. But this is that first gun round that we're talking about. A lot of A4s in play and a lot of missed utility coming through there from Strife again. Not the most history on this map, and it shows in some of these early rounds.
Right now, Snakes has the bomb. Could be a very precarious position with Freshie. He's actually getting boosted over this smoke. Spotted out now. But it's actually Florence to clean up too. Inside of Donut, a massive setup lies in place that Strife have been unable to deal with. Now, oh my goodness, Jitter, sit down! But the thing is, Cryptic is gonna go ahead and refrag that one either way. Infinite has actually walked his way through the A site, but it doesn't matter. Florence turns around for it. And that is Detonate with just an utter dominant one.
Man. Yeah, nicely done right there. Some nice shots popping off, but like you said, it's short-lived success. That's exactly what Detonate needed to shut things down there. As soon as they get their rifles out, they get the job done. And it's a lovely bonus that Florence starts to activate a little bit more here. So far, he wasn't really able to do too much of that first half with the op, but he should be having a little bit more fun here in the CT side, and it shows immediately in round one of the guns.
Brett running it, gunning it. They're just full on the attack here on the CT side. Brett's actually going to collect the kill on Infinite the same, as well as Snakes taking a boatload of damage. No space gained here for Strife, as they are locked out in this 4v5. Rack. Ooh, this is a nice play. He hears those footsteps falling back. He converts the kill into Freshie, and he knows that there's another player close. Wreck even turning around for the cave push. It's so wonderful from him. He deletes Detonate in one fell swoop. Florence out in the open is down and out. What a play here from Wreck. Even the dink landed towards the end there by Jules. This is just a mad round individually here from Strife.
My God, this is what he can do right now. This is Wreck at his peak right now. Has such low HP immediately in that first fight that he takes. And he doesn't try and go for even more towards middle. He doesn't stick around for too long. He immediately falls off, repositions, holds an angle that's so perfect. Like, what is that play? And on only 18 HP, he gets 2 more kills. I just can't even fathom that.
He's so prepared.
earlier I was talking about how hard he is to kill and how hard he is to take down in just straight gunfights right there, but that's incredible.
And that is a really, really painful round there for Detonate. They are down to little money. And if Strife pick up these next couple, this round, it could be considered more of a freebie. I don't see Detonate force buying in this round, but there is a real ugly timeline ahead. If this next gun round goes wrong for Detonate, their backs are up against the wall on a map that Strife typically permaban. A little trick up the sleeve here for Strife. Maybe they were prepping this one all along, or maybe it was just Reck hitting the reps in the aimbot server.
Certainly seems that way. He's come ready to play. Cryptic though, tricky angle. Not quite spotting that one out. Jitter taking a lot of risk here, sticking around towards the middle for quite some time, but a lot of resources have been tossed in towards that E fight and that cat fight over towards the B side, and now Strife finally getting a chance to capitalize off of some of that play coming through from Strife, or Detonate rather, as they get to walk on into an empty A bomb site. Another brilliant read here up against what is a lacking purchase.
Yep, don't always want to avoid that stack. Micro, however, does have the A1S. It is good for some smoke spam, and he does get himself to a great position to stop that plant. No cover there for Snakes. They're gonna go for take number 2. Micro always comes away with another. So, an actual man advantage here for Detonate. I forgot to mention the other possibility. If Detonate wins this round, we have a game in our hands. Let's see here from Micro. He's gonna begin his push up through the donut side. Clearing out his angles methodically, but there's a great trade there from Joel, swinging out off the contact and everything. The wheels fall off. It's just going to be Florence holding onto his armor and Strife up to 12.
Nice attempt right there. Maybe Micro could have done more, but she was in a bad position, or a rough position more than anything. And that could have encouraged a further effort in that retake. If he could have, just dropped one of those pieces, the dominoes could have fallen in their favor, but not the case here, not today at least. And Strife now getting themselves onto 12, looking very comfortable in this T set, very confident, even with a little bit of that missed utility that we saw early on towards middle. It hasn't necessarily meant that they don't have the execution, that they don't have the firepower here to still get the job done despite what was a labored first half.
We're getting a very textbook game here out of Reck. We saw him just very limited by Evil Geniuses yesterday. But this is more of the expectations we get from this guy. He's such a clutch player. He's such a multi-killer and collects so many advantages for Strife while he's locked in. So a timeout actually rolling through there for Strife to get things sorted. They understand how important this round is. You can look at the left side of your screen and say that Detonate, their tanks are empty. They got to get themselves to the station with a round win here, or there might not be much more to go here on Ancient.
Very well looking like that could be the case. You don't want to run on E though, that's for sure. Running up ramp, those Infinite taking some forward angles here. Hoping for some aggression to come through. He's going to be tested. How much can he get away with though? Brett, he's very tricky to deal with. Both of these players have so much experience right now in ECL, and eventually they'll call it a stalemate. They'll bail out and try and take endeavors elsewhere.
Strife free clearing towards middle. Micro getting spammed. They realize, and Cryptic goes down inside of the cave position. That's a critical kill, but Micro actually swings out for that. Trades towards middle. 2v3. The swing is going to come back in for Freshie. He needed to win that fight, and he will. 2 versus 2, and Strife have to regroup. They have to get that bomb first. But also, they have to guess where Detonate could possibly be.
But joining up quite nicely right now is Detonate. Grouped up here, and they're going with the exact same thing Strife did in these sort of awkward situations, but they're giving him a little bit more space. That's the one caveat right now. They do have room to move in towards this big bomb site. The silent crawl would be the best one here, but Snakes looks to get loud. That left side smoke, it'll alleviate some of that pressure there for Infinite, but that's also going to give a warning. Smalley, it could be everything. It could buy enough time. It could allow for that spam to come through. We'll see what it can do, though.
Time's ticking as well. 10 seconds. Snake, he's just gonna sit in the molly for a little bit. He's gonna accept that fact. He has to plant. With even infinite inside of cave, well, now it has to be only infinite. He has to clutch up into the corner. First kill is his. Now a 1v1 versus Florence, and Florence is actually gonna win it for Detonate. Such a pivot round taken there by them. On their pick, they're holding on.
Absolutely massive. Florence with a couple of these big CT rounds so far. Honestly, every round that they have won, Florence has been the big defining factor with 2 opening picks in the first and then a closing 1v1 clutch in the second round that they've won. So you'll love to see this sort of impact out of him. You want to see it a whole lot more. But it's not the cleanest of rounds there. Strife, they get 4 kills and a bomb plant, right? And they're the ones kind of garnering that momentum. They're the ones in the driver's seat right now. So if they pull off with an immediate reset round, that's going to be pretty brutal here for the defense.
Betting we're trying to get antsy, trying to get aggressive, but instead they lose a lot of their utility very early on. Micro, though, who gets all of middle for himself, he's going to try and get some help in the form of Cryptic and Brett pushing through that cave position, but it's Wreck on duty to watch. Oh, and just as he pulls out a molly, the timing could not be worse. Infinite can only come away with a single kill, but in the meantime, out middle, Jitter deals with Micro. 3v3, and Cryptic, his position spot is shoulder. Noted. And what was looking like a massive advantage for Detonate has cooled off.
That is brutal right there for Wreck. That's one way to take him down, though. Just nail the timing here, but they've retreated. They've evacuated this B bomb site. Florence giving over a lot of space here at the moment, and that's going to cause some concern. Utility dunked on in, avoided though by Snakes. He's going to keep it as far away as possible. These smokes should confirm here. Florence playing a bit of a dangerous game. Still hanging around this bomb site.
Guess they want to go for spam. He's going to wait for the smoke to fade. He's going to take the battle, but as it fades, is he going to get molly? Is it going to spread? No way.
Surely.
He should be so dead right now. But instead, he'll have the opportunity to swing. Clearing out the corners, gets the spot on a Joel's. Untraded as well. Jitter from Cave cannot do it. It's down to Snakes and his spam. It'll be good for the first, but he can't flick around for the others, and they can just wait this molly out. They'll have time to defuse, and we're going to have a game in our hands as Detonate inch closer.
What a play right there. Again, man, Florence on the CT side. It's 1 kill. It's further information when he does get traded eventually. It spots out another player. I mean, that is absolutely brilliant right there coming through from Florence, and what a risky call. What a risky play right there. He knew that he had the timing of a lifetime, though. When you get away with a play like that, you got to go proactive. You've got to throw all caution to the wind right there because you can win your team the round here. And Strife trying to recover off of a couple tough clutch losses now. The 3v3 and the 2v2 in the last round. They got to try and pick up the pieces here. Again, they know how close they are to a reset, so they're going to continue to try and get these force buys across the line.
It just takes one of these rounds to really push them to a complete reset of the Detonate economy, which could be an easy 14, potentially, 15 potentially on the table as well, as Detonate could enter into double eco territory. Some big risks need to be taken every round, but as long as Detonate win them, it doesn't matter. Up next, it's Detonate leaving that A site completely open. Strife look like they want to gamble towards middle. And Detonate, though, they will abandon that prospect and return back to the established position. They're actually preparing themselves for an A play right now. It's Florence first contact. But Joel is clearing out every nook and cranny Looking to get this boost up and going. Freshie gets the spot. Does he have the molly? He does. That can lock out a lot of these T's, and my time for the rotation, but Florence goes down early at the hands of Wreck, trying to swing in, and there's a punish. A 4v4, the molly goes in towards the back of sight. Things get claustrophobic now for Detonate, but Micro playing around the smokes, tries to boost up, but he's gonna get punished. Jitter's gonna be able to find that, but a 3 versus 3 now with more spam damage. Cryptic's here to clean up. A double kill for him, a 1v3 for Snakes. And Strife might be out of this round. Detonate keep holding on. What can Snakes do, though, here? Up close is Brett. First contact is Freshie. He can't beat it. Detonate, round by round, they are making this comeback happen. So we're back. This time around, Strife didn't get a bomb plant, so they're running with only pistols. We're looking to see tie game and Detonate finally get past that economic struggle. Now they will be in the driver's seat for this game. Unless Strife decide to walk out on the A site for free, then we could have some problems.
She's did a great job anchoring that last round, though. He has an opportunity this time, but he has let him slide on in, and Joel's always going to take full advantage of that fact. Cryptic does pull one back, so at least keeping things somewhat contained, but a lot of damage. Freshie's down now. Joel's has found 2, and he could turn this round on its head.
I mean, this was a chance to alleviate everything. This was a chance to take a breath of fresh air here for Detonate, but hold yours for now. You're going to swing out. You're going to see Cryptic get himself in towards his default box position. But Strife, they're just holding their angles. They're not playing their hand at all. Cryptic out in the open in the middle of it, but it's a 2 for 2, and he'll turn it to a double kill. Wreck, though, coming back around. That's a great headshot on the first, and Florence, his position is noted, but he's gonna win the outright fight, and it's going to be 12-all, but Detonate only have one man standing afterwards.
That was a little bit of a hefty investment right there coming through from Strife, right? A lot of investment into the Deagles. They do put some emphasis into it, but it pans out brilliantly. They take so many rifles down. They force so many purchases, so now it's been put into the position Detonate have been in this entire half where they just need to get a tidy round, a clean one across the line, because if they lose a single CT round without any saves, anything like that, they're going to be full reset here. Economy's going to be in the dumps.
Double setup inside of Cave. Strife trying to test this. They're going to be in for some trouble, but a good molly. Smoke to extinguish. They want to keep battling in here, do Detonate. And you have 2 of the heaviest hitters in Infinite and Wreck right around the corner. They could potentially just disassemble this play. Brett just on the edge of the smoke, though, will convert the first. And Infinite, he's not in time to trade. It's a double up from Brett. A 3v5 now for Detonate. And Strife have yet to find solutions here on the T side.
They have to deal with this off angle. It's going to be near impossible. Freshies. Good strike, but Joe's going to move right on past it. He could bypass the worst into this, but no one checks it. Oh, just not going to be able to find it, and Freshie strikes for 2. Snakes going to get himself that 1 consolation prize here with Bomb. He's going to call this round quits, and Detonate finally, they do get that clean round. They do close out a round with 4 alive, unless Snakes can do anything else. So he's just getting hunted. He's given an opportunity, spotting out 1. But no, Micro just wins the fight outright.
Sure. I mean, everything going right here for Detonate. We know that Freshie's on native resolution with that flick over. But Strife are getting the job done so far here, Cole. Or rather, Detonate are. Strife haven't been able to. They've run out of money. They've run out of chances. They're going to have to half-buy and allow Detonate up to 14. And now Detonate might be able to get that breath of fresh air. If they close this round out cleanly, that could just be a game-ending possibility. Ooh. But they're just mulling around middle. Not expecting that peek. That's an instant scout headshot for Joel's.
My God, that's stunning here, given an opportunity, a second one at that. Fresh, he's dancing between the shots, and we'll be able to evacuate just in time. Still, it's a threat, and still they want even more space. Another crawl up towards the B ramp side of things, but they are waiting patiently. Now showing shoulder, here's Infinite, but even despite this, I don't know how much resistance he can provide at the moment.
Joel's again? Joel's just found another one out middle?
My God.
This man's on a tear. He's even watching for the next. But Brett, he hits an equally crisp tap. Strife, though, this round, not guaranteed whatsoever.
Given over B here completely. Look at this.
Oh my
Brett's
goodness.
rotated off here. He's going to completely evacuate, and this is going to allow Strife to comfortably move on in towards this B side. Brett, he might peek his head out just at the worst time here. He spots him out, but late recovery, labored spray, and there you go. Snake's able to sneak on in.
Oh man, he had the bomb. If Brett gets that kill, this round is no risk. But now they have to retake. Now, admittedly, it's only Deagles and Tech-9s. They have nothing to stop themselves. What is going on here for Strife? Everyone making the pilgrimage around to cave. They want to all spam down that bomb diffuser. They do not want to let anything get done. 3 players in cave. And oh my goodness, somehow Infinite gets away with that much damage. It's now down to Brett. He fakes the defuse, but no one is biting on it. He's been spotted out. And now he has to stick it the whole way. Snakes, he got 7 bullets in that mag. Can he get the job done? He can't! Just as it fades, but Brett gets the defuse. Strife with a massive opportunity, but it can't materialize.
Oh, it's just not enough. He hits the last bullet right there, right onto the head, but no luck. And that is just enough for Detonate to claim 14. And like I said, they finally got one of those cleaner rounds to their names, so even despite 5 going down in that last round, the fact that they win it gives them a little bit of a cushion here. They get more investments, more opportunities to close out. That was Strife's best chance to pull it back. You're gonna struggle to see Joel's replicate a round like that. He's good, but 2 inches with a scout, 2 miracle shots given. That's what Strife needed in that last one, and it still wasn't enough.
Oh, some great damage even to start off on an Infinite. Things just can't go right here for Strife. These early rounds, even with these great openers, it's these closing stages that they've struggled in. The 3v3s, the 2v2s. And a touch to a grenade to start off there onto Micro. They're going to need a lot more than that. They need to close these rounds out.
Opportunities for mistakes, and turning this corner would certainly be a mistake. I don't know how he's still standing there. Down to 5 HP. Now is Infinite. At this point, you could be considered cannon fodder, but mopped up by the nade. Catching that one. Nicely done. As Florence sends one right on back, and 35 seconds left. It looks like Detonate, they have the exact right idea. They've really prepared themselves quite nicely for this A-side defense.
Yeah, they have Micro playing behind the box, but he has 47 HP, so he will go down easy. Now, are they going to be prepared for Freshie up top? Oh, they haven't cleared him. They have not cleared him just yet. And Snakes, oh, he was going to clear, but then he strikes with the bomb has also got on top of the boost. It's not going to matter as Detonate march themselves to 15. Strife unable to pick up one of these T-side rounds. It's Detonate on that point. Seven rounds in a row for them.
Oh. Round falls completely flat there at the start and all the way to the finish. Infinite catching flak early on. Wasn't able to have impact out towards the middle here. Just a last-ditch effort potentially from Strife. Desperate moves. But they get met by a barrage of utility in return, and that continues on the cat side as well. Cryptic finding lots of damage here. Joel's missing the assembly up catwalk, and all of a sudden it actually forces a reroute right into the hands of Micro and Florence. It's a 1-for-2 trade though as Cryptic strikes back from Jaguar position, and Brett's sharp as ever.
No chances given here for Strife. They're looking for these individual duels, but Detonate are actually standing up to them. A 2 versus 4. Reck sneaks his way on an A site. This is his moment. This is how good he is. It's an instant headshot onto Freshie. That's what he's so good for all the darn time. He's even proceeding in towards Temple. He wants to take more. He knows he needs to do more. He flashes in. It's great from Snake. Good coordination there from Strife now. They turn it back to a 2v2. And Florence, he might not have any idea where to look. The Molly is going to keep them off of Donut for the moment as the plant actually goes in. Strife, a post plant. Reck down to 1 point of health, the same. Detonate. That smoke. It's not quite on the bomb there, Cole. I hate to break it to Detonate. They're not going to be able to defuse that one for free. Is Brett going to make a move? He's going to jump on top of the sign, blind it up. Snakes didn't see him. They're spamming the smoke, and Brett up top is going to collect both of them. Salvaging the round and salvaging the game. Detonate put a comeback to the books. 16-13.
That's an incredible result right there. You got to be building so much confidence. A lot of scary factors coming through there. A lot of good rounds, but what Detonate had so well there was that clutch factor, was those really crucial rounds. I think Florence came in with a large bit of impact in that second half as well. We didn't see him activate too much in that first half, and I think that's why we saw a little bit of that struggle, but he makes good for it in that second half. Shows up big time, delivered